how I make FU money as a coach or consultant. I've been very excited about making this video because there are so many coaches and consultants out there, or people who want to be working from home, make their own clock, and they don't know what opportunity to take. You might have been in corporate for a long time. You might be brand new. You might be young, and you don't know how you could be a coach or consultant because you don't know what to sell. The vast majority of people are teaching you how to do, say, lead generation is a common one to consult people on and growing firms. And I've been a growth consultant for a decade, so I know a hell of a lot about that. And then, although it is a great opportunity, I cannot deny that there is a much better one, and I'm about to show you exactly how to do it today in this video. Super exciting. The thing we are going to be talking about today, and this does not matter at all, right? You could be brand new, like I said, or you could have been in corporate for 30 years. You can do this. We're going to be doing AI consulting. Now, AI consulting is not nearly as scary as you might think, so don't click off yet because you don't need to be technical to do this. Ironically, the less technical you are, the better you are, just as long as you've got a good brain for sourcing out business problems. And basically, the way you do that is by just genuinely being curious. I shit you not, that is the best way. So one of the prerequisites for this is you need to be curious. And to be curious, just ask good questions and actually basically care about what the person says on the other side of the Zoom meeting. You also need to learn how to attend a Google Meet, and you also need to know how to send a calendar invite. If you have all of these, you can do this. And I am not lying. I'm going to show you exactly what we are going to be doing in this video. And that is literally the only 3 prerequisites you need. So again, young, old, skilled, not skilled, doesn't matter. So AI consulting is very simple. What we are doing right now is we are helping businesses transform through the AI revolution. So we have literally in the world over 100 million companies right now who need to adopt AI and they just have no clue, okay? So they need to essentially become AI first companies. The issue they have is they have no clue how to do this. So I speak to companies all the time, every single day, and they always say the same words to me pretty much, is I hear about all this AI stuff, I know it's out there, I just have no idea how it helps me, how it fits within my business. And that, as AI consultants, is exactly what we're going to do. And we are essentially going to come in and we're going to bridge this gap for these business owners to enable them to transform from non-AI companies to AI companies to go from AI absent to AI native and AI first of businesses. And the reason they want to do this, candidly, is they are going to make a ton more money by becoming AI native. It's going to cut their costs, right? They can go on a hiring freeze. They're just going to make more margin. They're also going to be able to outcompete their competitors because they could actually technically reduce their price, so make them more competitive within the market space, especially traditional businesses. Like a normal traditional company, not in the digital space, anywhere from 28 to 20% margins is like very normal, right? That might seem low to you for those uninitiated, but I've worked with a ton of engineering and manufacturing companies. This is pretty much where they sit. Like 8 to 12% is like very normal. So if you can come in and you can increase their margin by 5%, it is a whole other world. And they can just outcompete everybody else in that sector. So the way we actually come in as consultants and do this, and this is why it's so simple, is we actually run, first of all, what you call an AI audit. Now, an AI audit is a series of interviews, which is why you need to be curious and be interested in business, which is a series of interviews with stakeholders, so that's the directors, the managers, any key decision makers in the business, and a series of interviews with employees who are actually doing the work. Because the thing we need to understand is we need to understand from decision being made to the action being taken and the result being delivered or not delivered, like how that all happened, like what happened across that whole chain. Like I said, interviews first. And then what we do is we then map out these processes. So we need to understand exactly what went on within the business. So this is very simple. It's literally a workflow diagram. You've probably seen or done them many times before. And this says, hey, a lead comes in from our website. They then fill out a form. They then, someone has to reach out, et cetera, et cetera. And these are just workflows, right? What we then need to do, and this is what you'll get better at, is you need to figure out exactly where AI or workflows or systems can come in and streamline that process. So for example, a lot of traditional businesses, let's just use a dentist office to make this really easy. How many times you call, go, hey, ring, ring, I need to book a dental appointment. No one answers, right? So they're losing revenue. Same with like a plumber, ring, ring, no one answers because he's fixing someone else's pipes, right? So that's why, for example, an AI receptionist is a very hot thing to sell traditional businesses now. And these are selling for hundreds to thousands of dollars every single month because it solves a very key pain point, which is leads are coming in, but they're not getting triaged. They're not getting brought into the business and the money isn't being made. And statistically, about 65% of local companies actually miss phone calls. So that's just a simple example. So we map out the processes. Then we rank the AI opportunities. When we've got them, we do this with what you call an opportunity matrix, which kind of looks like this. And essentially what we look at is go, hey, we've identified these 10 or 15 opportunities. These are the quick wins. So these are the ones that we think could be done really easily. And these are the ones that are very valuable, but will take a lot longer. And then these ones here just aren't worth doing at all, right? They're either not very valuable or they're a lot of work for not a lot of value. Then we assign an ROI to each of these things. And this is very simple to do as well, which is if you have a member of staff that's earning, whatever it is, £10,000 a month, and they're spending 10 hours a week on this, so they're spending 40 hours a month, then you divide 10,000 by obviously the 40 hours, and that is how much they are wasting in actual real dollars on this specific task. So you figure out basically what it's costing the business now. Let's just round number it and say it's costing them 2,000. And then you say, hey, to solve this problem with AI, we're going to do an implementation. The implementation is going to be 15,000. And this is something I really commonly see. So I'm glad you're watching this, that people underprice implementations massively. In the corporate world, if you've got a 12-month buyback, it is incredible. Like a lot of them are working on 2 or 3 years. So when they're saying it's $2,000 a month, they're going to be saving. And if that's only one person doing it, that's basically going to be like 8 months. And then they're going to have actually started making money. And that doesn't include if this person can actually start generating revenue for them. So a lot of the common workflows are in the sales and marketing divisions where those people can be directly attributed to a revenue generating activity. So they can actually make it back even faster. But this is a very simple example. And then the final output is a deck. So in any consulting business, and I've done a million of these, I hate to say it, is basically a PowerPoint. And we don't want death by PowerPoint. We make them short and concise. So a smaller company will be under 10 slides, usually like, a normal size, maybe 13. And I say normal, like 20, 30, 40 people. And then if you go in bigger companies, like 80 person plus, it might be a 25-page deck because you are identifying a lot more bottlenecks and inefficiencies in the business. So there's just more pages needed. So you got to have a deck as well. And that is the final output. So as a consultant, as a non-technical person, this is where we are spending 90% of our time. However, if you would like to make even more than this, and I will touch on that now. How much do you get paid? So it's roughly $500 per interview you do. And every company you work with, you need to interview everyone that does a different job. Let's make this clear. If you did a call center and there was a director, 3 different types of managers, and then the call center reps, and then someone else. So there's 5 people. It would be $2,500. A common audit in most traditional companies are $5,000 plus 5, 10, 15, 20, 30, 40, 50,000. The biggest one we've ever done is like north of 70,000. And that's for a big company. It was a few hundred people. That's how you price them. This is why you can make 5 figures a month doing this. And when you look at all the other coaches and consultants, they're slinging stuff for like $500. We're not doing that. Okay. Now, to take this up a notch, and I'm going to give you the full roadmap, although this is the bulk of being an AI consultant. And I've been an AI consultant for a while now. And this is basically the vast majority of what I do because I'm not a technical person. I'm not the person building these workflows. That's just not me. And when I started this, I didn't do any of that. I just outsourced it. We started here with the AI audit. Now, the point of the audit is to identify the inefficiencies. The thing is they've now got a deck, but they don't know what to do. They don't know how to solve any of this. So how do we then get the implementations done? And this is where you can make like a ton of money. So the next thing is the AI implementation, right? And these on the low end, if you do like a $5,000 audit, the implementations are probably going to be 30 to 50,000. That's pretty common. But let's say on the low end, it's 15K for implementations. And then let's say it's 5K here. This one client should be paying you at least $20,000. So if you can't do this work though, and you want to outsource it, expect to make 10 to 20% if you're using an agency. If you're using a freelancer or from something like Upwork, right, you just price in their hours and you can make 50% plus, right? But then you've got to manage the full project, when with an agency, you just choose a good one and then you don't need to worry about it. So let's say, for example, $5,000 plus another 10%, you're now at 6.5K for this client. And then the bit which I really love, which is the advisory and the maintenance. And this is really important. So when you come in and you've audited their business, you have found all their inefficiencies, you then started doing implementations for them, they will see you as their go-to, their AI guru, and you will start making a name for you in that sector also. So the next part of that is you then start offering advisory and maintenance. Now, maintenance should always be a standard. If you're doing implementations, you have to maintain them because the world is evolving so fast that they are likely to break. And that's not your fault. It's not them being built badly. It's because AI technology is advancing so quickly. What worked, 3 months ago might be not work now, or might be an inefficient way of doing it. So you can actually save more money. Advisory is because AI is also evolving so quickly that they want to know the latest and greatest stuff that they can now do. So I'll give you a prime example. I've been in growth consulting for a decade now. I've helped hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of companies. The start of 2025, this idea of using AI for video ads and commercials was just oh, how cool would that be? And people were playing around with it, but it was janky, it was rubbish. Candidly, I didn't see anything. Now, 2026 and beyond, I know major corporations that have slashed their spend on content creators and influencers, and they are just using AI creative to do their advertising for them. That is how cavernous the change has been in a 12-month period, right? So imagine the cost cutting for those companies. It's immense, okay? But the only way they're going to know that's now possible is through your advisory. Now, I do a lot of this. I charge $3,500 to $5,000 a month, depending on the company and exactly what they want. But that's my monthly retainer for advisory. For maintenance, it's anywhere from usually $2,500 to $5,000 a month, depending on how many agents I've got and different stuff like that. But this is, for me, a full stack now AI consulting firm. But you, as a brand new consultant, I'm not sure what part of the journey you are in, but if you don't have an offer, you didn't know what to sell, I guarantee you this requires no sales skills. The market wants this so damn badly that they are just tripping over themselves to work with people, and people who are entrenching themselves right now. I've had people close 3 to 12 audits in a week and then want to, the head starts spinning. It's that cataclysmic, this event that is happening with regards to AI revolution on traditional businesses, that they are not going to be no, I'm not interested in that. They'll get wiped out if they are like that. So this is a huge opportunity for you. Step 1, AI audit. Step 2, implementation through outsourcing, building your own team. And then step 3 is advisory. Basically closing 10 deals a year, 10 audits a year, 10 to 12 audits a year, you'll have a 7-figure company if you are doing all of this, right? And this can absolutely be a one-person business with contractors. No problem at all. That is exactly basically what I do, candidly. So I have one consultant in my business now, and he gets paid on a per project basis, right? So if I need him, because I actually really love the consulting side, I'm a glutton for punishment, but I've done it for a decade and I actually really like it. But I now have 2 devs. So I have 2 developers on my team, full stack developer and a automations developer now on the team also. And I have a couple of other people. My firm is about 7 people as of this moment of speaking. But candidly, as AI is getting better, you just have amazing consultants who can go in and do the auditing side of things. The amount of the cost to doing the implementations and the difficulty of doing them is coming down at a drastic rate. So this bit here, the price of this is just coming down like you wouldn't believe. So what used to cost hundreds of thousands to do, and it's still worth, hundreds of thousands to millions to companies, you are now able to do for $5,000, right? Or less, it could be $500. It's a huge change. I hope you liked the video. This is how I would go ahead if you wanted to become a coach or consultant, leave your corporate job or start a new business, whatever stage of your life you're in. Exactly what I would do and what I've helped hundreds of other people do also. So smash the like button, smash the subscribe button. And if you do want to start your own AI consultant firm and you'd like more of my help, first link in the description. If you're a business and you are looking for someone to audit and do implementations for you, second link in the description. Check out this video up here because I'm sure you're going to love it, and I will see you in the next one.